All right, hello once again. Jeff Scott, formerly of Rankin Technical College, and as part of my YouTube channel, JPS-Jeff Teaches Programming, and the YouTube playlist on that channel, Jeff Teaches Programming-Python. I've been writing a series of Python programs, and now I'm into the object-oriented section. And what I did previously was I did come in and I wrote or rewrote the payroll program using object orientation for lists. Now I'm going to go on to the next one, which is dictionary. And if I open this with code, you'll see that all that's in there is main. And again, this is main that just has the comment that says it's an object-oriented program that uses dictionaries. And we are using object-oriented programming. So this will be much like the last one I did. We're not going to have an employee class, just an employee manager in here. All right, that's just the way that I did it. So very similar to what we did before, I'm going to import employee MGR as emp MGR. And since I haven't created it yet, that's why it's giving me the error right here in brown. It says it could not be resolved because it hasn't been created yet. And we're going to put main in here. And again, MGR equals emp MGR dot employee MGR. So that's when we're instantiating right there. And another while true. And we're going to have a series of print statements in here. I believe there'll be, again, about a dozen of them. So let's just type in here print. And we'll put in double quotes. And this is screwed up already, so let's fix that. All right. And like I said, there'll be about a dozen of these. All right, so let's fill these in. This thing about the indentation, we had that before and it worked its way out. So before we do one, we're going to put in a \n, and just like before, employee management system dash Python dictionaries. All right, and now we're going to put our ones in here. I think I will need one more, but I'm not sure. We'll see. All right, so one, what the heck happened there? One, add new employee. Two, clear employee list. 3, copy employee list. I believe I did that with just the names again, but we'll see in just a minute. 4. Now remember, we're working with dictionaries, so this will be create dictionary from keys. 5, get employee. 6, is remove employee. 7 is remove last employee. 8 is update employee list. 9, and I'm going to need one more even in here. So 9 will be list all employees. 10 will be list employee keys. 11 will be list employee values. Remember that dictionaries are key value pairs. 12 will be set a default employee. And finally, 13 will be normal termination exit. Okay, so we've got all those, very similar to what we've been doing previously. All right. And I'm looking here to see why this looks funky, but like I said, hopefully it's going to work its way out. So, all right. And then we have to basically fill all these in. Okay, and it's not even as bad as it was before, really, but let's get going here. So I am out of the while loop. In fact, I want to be in the while loop. So choice equals input, enter 1 through 13 now, please. All right, if choice equal 1. Okay, so again, remember with all these, so this is add new employee. All right, this will be mgr.add employee. So all we're doing here, elif choice equal 2. And for a 2, as you can see up there, it can't yet, but 2 is clear employee list. So it will be mgr.clear employees. elif choice equal 3. Again, we can use single or double quotes here, but I should be consistent. So for 3, it's the copy of the employee list. So that'll be mgr.copy employees. 4, forgot my colon here and here. So this will be for 4. This is, how did we put that up here? Create dictionary from keys. All right. And this will be mgr.from keys employees. Again, none of these have been created, none of these managers, because we haven't made the manager yet. elif choice equal 5. And 5 is get an employee. So for that, it'll be mgr.get employee. elif choice equal 6. And it looks like I forgot the colon here. And I need it here where I just am. So for 6, this is remove employee. So that'll be mgr.remove employee. elif choice equal 7. And of course, 7 then is remove last employee. That'll be mgr.remove last employee. fact, let's see. That needs paren, because that's going to be a method, as is this. And this is MGR, not MRG. All right, elif choice equals 8. And for 8, that is update employee. elif 9. And 9 is list all employees. Ten it is list employee keys. Next is list employee values. We're almost done. Twelve is to set the default employee. And 13. That again is normal program termination. Exit, whatever you want to call it. So we should be able to exit right there. And we don't have to do this, but we will print a message. It's not an F string, but we'll put it there anyway. That just says normal program termination. All right, so that's going to handle all of our things. If we put in something else, we will do a print. In fact, let's put a \n here. Get used to putting those in right away. Again, I can put an F string here even though it's not necessary. And we're going to say invalid choice, please try again. All right, that's all of that. Finally, now we're out of that. All right, so now we're over by the what? Right by where the while is. I believe that'll be here. Okay, give me just a second here. All right, so this will be outside of everything. So this will be our if underscore underscore name underscore underscore equal double quote underscore underscore main underscore underscore main. I think that's 2 equals there, isn't it? All right. So there is the entire while loop inside of main. Again, I'm not sure why that's funky, but hopefully when we fix this by adding the employer manager in just a second, that'll fix it. We'll see. So let's come back into here. Let's create a new file. That'll be employee mgr.py. And let's start creating this one, which is going to have all those functions in it that we just saw. This is not short, about 150 lines. All right, let's start with our program constants. Let's move this over. So again, min hours is equal to 0.00. Max hours is equal to, what I really should do is put that in a library, I guess, and start to include that. That would have been a much smarter thing to do. If I think about it, I'll do that later. Min hourly rate is also equal to 0. And max hourly rate is equal to 99.99. Max non-OT equals 40.00, and over rate is equal to 1.50. Okay, nothing new there. So class employee MGR, our def underscore init underscore self, and in there all we want to do is say self.employees equal this, so we've got a new dictionary. All right, did that fix the error we had here yet? No. Trying to figure out why I'm getting that error. Inconsistent use of tabs and spaces. Okay, I must have spaced there. So that's all my errors are gone from here now. Good. All right, so let's continue on. Now we've got add employee. Another way to check on this, so we're doing here, so if a number is there, we'll print error employee number must be unique. And we'll return. I got a lot of returns in here, and I don't know if I had to put them in, but I did. The program works, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. First name equals input, enter first name. And I did put in here, you didn't have to do this. Sorry about that. You didn't have to do this, but I did put in here, if I can get it back up, at the end a dot strip, which is like the trim that we've used, for example, in the trim statement that we have used in JavaScript. So if not first name, meaning it's empty, we'll do a print that just says error, first name cannot be empty. And again, we'll return. Now the next thing we want to do is the last name, which is virtually identical here. So let's copy all this. And we'll change this to last name. All right. And in here, like I said, I did these all a little bit differently. Why? It gets boring writing the same program virtually all the time. So I used a try in here. Again, it's kind of nice to let them know. And I could have used right here, I could have used instead of the 00 and that 84, I could have used an F string here. All right, and we could have put those values in, but I didn't do it like that. So but I did put it here. And return. Again, after this, the next thing to do here is hourly rate. So I just copied this. Move it all over now. So that's got to be hourly rate. Move this back. There we go. So this is hourly rate. And that changes here to $99.99. All right, so we've got all that stuff done. Now, they're the same, and we've got the return there, but what I want to do really in here is I want to change this and put in except here. And there we will again do a print. And we can again basically just copy this and just change that to hourly rate. So that means this has to be in another try here. Okay. All right, so we've got all that. Well, we're getting there. Now we might as well do the calculation for gross pay. And this is a little thing I found. I wish I would have remembered where I found it, but equals min hours worked max non-OT times hourly rate. In English, what this says is straight time is the minimum of either the number of hours you worked if it was less than 40, or if you worked more than 40, it's that. All right. Then overtime is equal to max hours worked minus hours worked minus max non-OT, or 0 if there wasn't any, times hourly rate times the overtime rate. Okay? And then gross pay is equal to straight time plus overtime. All right, pretty cool. All right, self.employee emp number. So now basically I'm filling up the key and the value. So I'm making my dictionary entry. So we've got first name, last name, hours worked, I'm looking here. I think I need I would think at least I left it off, but I would think here I would need the employee number. And again, I got to be consistent. Well, I started using double quotes there, so let's make these double quotes as well. Again, when you use these, you should just be consistent. All right, doesn't matter which ones you use, but you got to pair them up equally. That's all. So hours worked hourly rate and finally gross pay. All right, so that'll make the dictionary entry. And I might as well put a print statement there that says employee, yeah, let's just put in their first name and their last name. Added to employee list. Okay. All right. We're still in this add employee. I think we've actually finished it now. So we should go back to here. right there. So that'll be def clear employees. And that'll simply be self.employees dot clear. We might as well put a message there that says employee list has been cleared, or whatever you'd like. Next, we've got copy employees. In fact, I'm going to do it like this. And last time, I think, when I did the copies, just show the first names. This time, let's show everything. Okay. All right. Making progress, slowly but surely. All right, after copy employees, next, from keys employees, keys equal input, enter keys separated by commas, with again a dot split in here, and we're telling it to split now on the comma. Value equal input, enter default value, let's make a new dictionary. And that'll be equal to dict dot from keys with the keys and the value. I'm a little weird about this, but finally we will print new dictionary from keys, and then our new dict. Okay, so we're able to create a new dictionary kind of on the fly, so to speak. So that's from keys employees. And we're going to try to get that. And if we don't find it, we'll just say employee not found. So if you put in a bad number, okay. Otherwise, we'll print the employee information. Like I said, this is a bit of typing. Next is remove employee. Same thing we did here, so let me just copy that. So enter an employee number. If there was a removed employee, tell them that it was removed. Otherwise, you're trying to remove something that doesn't exist. So we'll just say employee not found. Okay. Now the next one is remove last employee. It's going to be similar. It is not, of course, identical, but it's very similar. So I'm going to grab this whole routine. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to paste it in. And this is remove last employee. And here we're trying to remove the last one. So if there are employees, so self dot employees, meaning there are some, all right, then we say emp number, emp info equals self dot employees dot pop item, and then we say that the last employee was removed. Otherwise, we're going to say no employees found. All right. We've got a few more to go here. The next one is update, and that's a bit of work. So what are we doing for time? 39 minutes, and I'm going to pause for just about 5 minutes here. All right, I'm continuing. I just took a little break for a second, so let's write our next routine here, which is to update an employee. Unfortunately, this is one of the longer ones, if not the longest one we have. So let's see. Let's see. We got that. Now let's see. All right. We have to find out, we've got to get an employee to update, so we will ask for a number. And check, and if emp number not in self.employees, in other words, we put in a number that doesn't exist. Let's just do a print. that says employee number not found, and then we'll return. All right, that's the bad case, but otherwise we have to enter the fields to update, leave blank, in other words, hit the enter key to skip the field. Okay. So first name equals input, enter new first name, or enter to skip. Dot strip. I am my Jeff. We want to do the same thing with the last name, which is virtually identical. So we'll make that last name. All right, so we've got those two. And now we've got to do the other two fields, which are our hours worked and our hourly rate. But remember, we have to, when we're doing this, we have to also make sure that we're putting in numbers here, right? Just like here, we did an int. All right, we could probably check in here for and put a value, you know, here we could also have a I'm just going to leave it the way I had it. So I got this. So try hours worked equal input enter new hours worked again, or this is wrong here. They should be enter to skip. All right. Hours worked equal float of hours worked. Again, a little magic here. If hours worked, else none. All right. Let's put an except in here with the value error. Let's see. What we can do in here is we can come in. We had those in here, right? Yep, down there's our. So we can. I didn't do this in mine, but it'd be a good idea to put another else in here, or another if. If min hours less than or equal to hours worked, less than or equal to max hours. So if not that, that means that you put in something out of range. And we'll say raise value error. Okay. And here with our accept value error right here, we will do a print. Says error, invalid, input, invalid, or out of range input 4 hours worked. All right. Then we want to basically do the same thing, but for the hourly rate. So let me so this will be hourly rate, as will this. All right, getting there. Okay, so now we've updated everything. So I'm going to say updated info equals, if there's a first name, in other words, we did try to update the first name, updated info first name equal first name. Should be updated. There we go. Then we want to do the same thing for the last name, so let's grab that. It's fine, just do it there, it's fine. So what we're checking here is did we update that field? And if we did, we're going to include it. In other words, we have to come in here and make our change. All right. Then we want to do the same thing for hourly rate. All right. So now we have to figure out our gross pay. You know what I need to do? I'm going to quickly do this, and that is add a little, some comments in here. All right. Create empty employees dictionary. This would be error. Emp number already exists. This will be allow user to update first name if desired. Allow user to update last name if desired. Allow user to update hours worked if desired. Allow the user to update the hourly rate if desired. All right. Oh, this is an update, Jeff. Allow user to, let's just change this. These are all wrong. That's why when you comment at the beginning. Input first name. Input last name. Input hours worked. Input hourly rate. Calculate gross pay. All right, we've got to make our dictionary entry, and then there's that. So, yeah, pretty self-evident, but we will clear the employee list. Here we will copy the employee list. Here we will allow for new entries. This will get an employee. This will remove a desired employee. This will remove the last employee. This will allow us to update an employee. That's where I left off. All right. Now, if we updated the hours worked and or we updated the okay, so what we want to do, since we've done all this stuff now, what we need to do is we need to possibly we need to come in and if we've changed either the hours worked or the hourly rate, we need to go back and recalculate the gross pay. So for here, if hours worked, and or hourly rate updated, update gross pay. Whew. Luckily, when we're done with this, we've only got about 20 more lines to go. So if and when I did this, I didn't use parens because I thought it got too ugly. So again, as you can see, if either one of those have been changed, okay, and I want to basically do the same thing with hourly rate. And we've again got to do exactly what we did before as far as the straight time, the overtime. So let me grab those two from before. I'll just grab all these. I'm going to have to make a change, but that's okay. All right. Straight time. That's okay. Overtime. That's okay. And this will have to be updated info gross pay equals the straight time plus the overtime. All right. finally, self.employees. So we'll put in here update dictionary entry. Print let them know that they have been updated. Now, like I said, we don't have too much to go here. Where am I for time? Son of a gun. Let me finish this, and just like I did before when I do the run, I will do that in another video. So, where are we? All right, like I said, I want to finish this. So def list employees. We're just going to loop through and print out everything. Otherwise, there was nothing to print. Okay, so that'll be the list. Then we need to list the keys, list the values, do the default. So 3 more to go. Actually, I'm going to change that. I want to call that list employee. I want to do it like this. Keys and list employee values like that. Okay. So that's where I am up to it here. So this will print out the numbers, which are the keys. And then we'll do the values, which is going to be similar. Did I call it list employee values or value? Values. Good. Okay. So values equals self.employee.values. Print, and this will say employee info. And that'll be values. All right. One more thing to go and then we're finished here. And I'm going to do that one the same as well. So, that one's fine the way it is. Well, we've done this a bunch of times. Grab that. Fix that in a second. All right. If the number is in here, then we're going to say employee already exists. And we'll return. All right, otherwise, we'll come in here and we'll set our default info. And so this is a default employee. So in other words, if we didn't enter anything, we'll have first name, and we'll just put in like unknown first. Stupid, but that'll work. Okay, then we'll have a last name, and that will be unknown last. Then we will have an hours worked, and that will be set to 0. We'll have an hourly rate, and we'll set that equal to 0. And we'll have a gross pay. And we'll make that equal to 0 as well. All right. And then we'll let you know that you've got that. So 2 more lines and we're finished. Thank goodness. No, well, okay. All right. And I'm going to stop now, but just for the heck of it, I'm going to do a save all here. I'm going to come back and just see if indeed it's even going to run as we started off here. Well, that's good. So that's a start. All right, I'm going to stop right now, and I'll do a run for you, and I'll explain everything when I come back in just a few minutes.